Praise the Lord. Title of today's message is Jesus Christ Unmatched in Giving Up. Hebrews 2:14 and 15. Because God's children are human beings, made of flesh and blood, the Son also became flesh and blood. For only as a human being could he die, and only by dying could he break the power of the devil, who had the power of death. Only in this way could he set free all who have lived their lives as slaves to the fear of dying. Jesus gave up his heavenly abode to become sacrifice for the sin of mankind. How great is his love for us. Today we see that for the sake of property and wealth, people born in the same family go against each other and even get to the point of destroying each other's life. Jesus says in Luke 6:29, if someone slaps you on the one cheek, offer the other cheek also. If someone demands your coat, offer your shirt also. Here God expects us to hold on to our peace and live. Even in Luke 6:30 says, give to anyone who asks, and when things are taken away from you, don't try to get them back. This sounds next to impossible, but Jesus just watched when the soldiers cast lots to take his clothes away. He didn't argue with them. If Jesus could do, we can do as well. Romans 14:21. It is better not to eat meat or drink wine or do anything else if it might cause another believer to stumble. Today, Jesus Christ expects us to leave our mindset and put on the mind of Christ. Luke 12:32-34 says, so don't be afraid, little flock, for it gives your Father great happiness to give you the kingdom. Sell your possessions and give to those in need. This will store up treasure for you in heaven. And the purses of heaven never get old or develop holes. Your treasure will be safe, no thief can steal it, and no moth can destroy. Wherever your treasure is, there the desires of your heart will also be. Since we are partaker in God's kingdom, will God give us a part during his 1,000 years rule on earth? No, it is in this life since Jesus is in us. His kingdom has been established in us. Jesus says that if I have blessed you in this world, sell them and give to the poor. By doing this, you will store up treasure in heaven, which no thief can steal. Today, why are we enjoying the riches of this world? Why are we being blessed by God? Is it to spend lavishly on ourselves or to spend for God's kingdom? The godly character which was in Jesus, is it there in us? Let us think about it. Isaiah 53:10-12. But it was the Lord's good plan to crush him and cause him grief. Yet when his life is made an offering for sin, he will have many descendants. He will enjoy a long life, and the Lord's good plan will prosper in his hands. When he sees all that is accomplished by his anguish, he will be satisfied. And because of his experience, my righteous servant will make it possible for many to be counted righteous, for he will bear all their sins. Jesus bore it all because of his immeasurable love for us. We read about Moses that he didn't like to be called a son of Pharaoh's daughter, and counted his life on a prince as nothing when he counted himself as one with the children of Israel and their suffering. He wanted to use his life to fight for his people as per God's will, and gave it all up for the life in the desert. Do we have this quality in us? In these last days, we tell that nothing is eternal. We say that all that we see will perish one day, but we work very hard to accumulate riches. When God leads the children of Israel out of Egypt, we all know that He provided them with manna. This was supposed to be their daily life. Those who collected more and those who collected less both just had just enough for that day. Both were used to eat the leftover manna. Even today, God provides for us daily in miraculous ways. Then why should we chase behind the riches of this world? We need to give a serious thought to it. Jesus, who gave up his heavenly abode for us, says that foxes have holes, birds of the air have their nests, but Son of God doesn't have a place to lay down his head. I need to reach out to several places and proclaim the gospel, heal the broken-hearted, comfort those who are sad. Jesus had set his mind on these things and he ran 33 and a half years doing his Father's will. Do we have these characters of giving up in us? We need to think about it. In these 40 days, if there is a change in our characteristics, how good it will be. We read in God's word that the real mother gave up her child to the other woman who was arguing so that it can live. When the king hears this, he has mercy on her and tells us that you are the real mother. As you cannot stand anything evil happening to your child, he summons the child to be handed over to the real mother. Today also in families there is fight and misunderstanding because no one is willing to give up. Let us try to adorn ourselves with these characteristics of Jesus Christ. As Apostle Paul says, what I counted as gain for the sake of knowledge of Christ, counted them now as loss. Let us be determined to live for Jesus and God will bless us. God bless you all. God bless you.